I was asleep. I think for the first few minutes I thought, well, I must be dreaming. And yeah, all I can say is I'm thrilled and delighted. It's really hard to believe. I think black holes, because they're so hard to understand, is what makes them so appealing. This idea that there are objects where that represent the breakdown of our understanding of the physical world, and where you get this mixing of space and time. For me, those are the things that intrigue me about black holes. The fact that they were so hard to understand, and that these things that we take for granted become so difficult to understand. This idea that space, which we experience as humans as separate from time, become commingled. It's both intriguing and fascinating, and I have to say these are the things that kept me up at night when I was a kid. All these questions of space and time. I would situate it for myself in the moon landings. So I was 4 when people first landed on the moon. So you can figure out how old I am. And that just fascinated me. I really remember being just fascinated by this idea that people could be out there, and that then just propelled my imagination beyond. So that was my early interest. Well, when there was the suggestion that of supermassive black holes in the 70s as building off the idea of smaller black holes. So black holes, the smaller black holes were thought of originally theoretically, and by small I mean 10 to 30 times the mass of the sun. And then the idea that there could be these supermassive black holes that are 1 million to 1 billion times the mass of the sun, that came later, and that came really from observations that were hard to explain that were seen at the center of galaxies. And so it was really this in the 70s that this was first suggested, roughly. And I think what the work that that's being recognized here today represents the fact that we could really bring that that case for supermassive black holes so far forward. We've improved the case for supermassive black holes by a factor of 10 million. So that's a transformation from a notion, a possibility, to something that's very hard to refute.